Hello everyone and welcome back to Plough Lane. After what was a very entertaining game of football that we have come just short on, unfortunately, Stevenage beats 3-2 with a very, very good game from Ali Al-Hamadi. I'm joined to my left by Rob Boyce and my right by Stuart Deacons, the man behind the iPad. There you go.
Yeah, I'm literally just we're a bit short on people tonight. It's midweek, isn't it? So we're actually multitasking.
And obviously huge shout out to Spike behind the camera as well. So Rob, what was your kind of takeaways from that?
You know what? It's a mixed bag really, because obviously you're never gonna be happy losing the game 3-2. I mean, that's obvious. But I think actually there was plenty of positives to take from tonight's result. To be fair, I think what our biggest undoing was the makeshift back four and the injuries that has caught up with us. You know, when you look at Stevenage side, they made 5 subs tonight. We could barely name 5 on the bench, and some of their subs they brought on. If we made 5 subs, we'd have changed goalkeepers. We had a 5-a-side team on the bench, you know. But you know, some of their subs they made were just quality. You know, Jake Foster-Kukaski, Boswick coming on as well. You know, I think that was just basically the turning point in the game. They could make changes to go on to win the game. We couldn't, and like I said, with the makeshift back four, it just caught up with us. But what I would like to say is our attacking play tonight was very encouraging. You know, there's some very encouraging signs. I don't want fans listening or on social media, you know, all shouting JJ out or really negative or really disappointed, because tonight we witnessed a really entertaining game of football. And like I said, I think we should look at the positives. I think the main thing for me is when you look at a Stevenage side, you see why they're third and where we are in the table, and we just need to make that jump from where we are to there next season. They didn't inspire me
that much. I chatted with a couple of the mates, and they look bang average. If I'm being honest, they didn't really press their man. It didn't like they were trying as much. And I make that may mean because we think it's a bigger game for them. They're only playing 16th in the table, whatever. But Stu, what did you make of them today?
Well, I'm just laughing because I can't see Rob too much, which is great. I think Spike's doing a great job there. We have got a final score there. Do you know what? I think they were low on confidence, weren't they? And you could tell that by the start. But they had a better bench than us. That's the big thing. When you make subs and bring on Roberts, Kasky, and you bring on Boswick, it's just that's where their strength is. And when they brought them subs on, changed the game, didn't they? From that, do you know what? I think with a bit more luck, we probably could have got 3-4 goals tonight. I thought we played well. I thought Ali Al-Hamadi was sensational in front of goal. He just seemed to want to take his man on. He just wanted, and when he did, and more than not put in the back of the net. Yeah. I mean, he decided to have 2 attempts for the second one. First playing crossbar challenge and then. I thought it was an own goal. I was like, oh, crap, that's a bit embarrassing, but they gave him a goal. Do you know what? I thought the front 3 or 4. Do you know what? I think going forward we looked decent. Josh linked well with Al-Hamadi. I thought they played a bit more close together tonight, which I thought was better. I thought McAteer had a really good game. Cheers, Ali.
Been very good, yeah.
Cheers, had a really good game.
I thought Davison was struggled a little bit. I think he struggles next to Ali, because we did seem to go, before we conceded, we looked to go 4-4-2. I'm not sure as to why. I don't think it suits our play style as much, but them two together, I don't think the dynamic works. I think they need someone next to them.
I think it's more a case of occupying. I think you had to occupy their 2 centre-halves and then get with the outsides of them. Didn't help. We had to make a change with Lee Brown going off.
Yes.
Bringing George Marsh onto right back, who's not a natural right back.
But I think he did all right. I think he added a little bit of almost like an inverted fullback, where he just dropped into the midfield. And I like the little link up between him and Armani Little for the second goal. It was very, very good. The little passing and Woody coming in as well. And I think it was a good performance from Marsh. He's coming in pretty cold after not playing many games. I know you do not agree with what I
I don't know. I wasn't convinced by Marsh tonight. You know, if I'm honest with you, maybe, like I said, maybe you were watching a different game. I had a better angle, but I just thought Marsh was a bit average. But I'm not blaming Marsh, because at the end of the day, it's a makeshift back four. You know, Gunner had to then move to left back. You said Davison had a poor game. I did notice he limped off when he came off, maybe he's carrying. I feel like there's a few players tonight carrying knocks. I mean, I think that's why Lee Brown went off. We know obviously Woody went off on Saturday. I wonder if he was carrying anything today. And then obviously Davison's come off, and I think it's just, you know, we've got a run of games of Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and we ain't got the biggest of squads.
I think we were carrying knocks. I really do. Woody went off, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? But Woody would get through. Lee Brown looked like he sort of knew he had it. I think Lee Brown would look like he was really gutted that he had to went off, as if like he knew he had a knock and had to try and get through the game and stuff like that. And it looked like a walking wounded in a little way. But do you know what? I think lots of positives to come from that. You can always tell by the way a team celebrates of how much it. Stevenage celebrated really heavily because they knew they were in a game tonight.
But the thing is, as well, with their run of form at the moment, coming away to Plough Lane, nearly to Kings Meadow there, on a Tuesday night, we have got a good home record, and they would have seen us turn over Leighton Orient here on a Tuesday night. There's a big 3 points to them. They've been pipped recently by Carlisle and to keep them in that top 3. I do notice there's a message here, and I feel like I'm going to get done. When The Simpsons, when Bart Simpson gets rung up,
Moe's
Tavern. I feel like there's a shout out for Aman Kwanja, and I was thinking to myself, is this the wrong name? But shout out to Aman Kwanja. So yes. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Shout out.
Rob's just like a cheerleader tonight. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to do a shout out.
Any more requests?
Don't start singing.
Get a karaoke session for the post match.
Yeah, it's weird though,
no one wants to hear that.
I was just saying to Rob, we come out of here. And I know you were a bit gutted when you come up, but I'm actually feeling I'm okay with that tonight. I thought we played good in patches. I think we have to realise Stevenage are a decent side, and we've run them. They're not well. Are they second now in the league? I think they've moved up. But they're a team that's not playing well in confidence. But they've got good players. But I thought we played well tonight.
You know what as well, Stu? There's no side that I've really seen this season, apart from Mansfield when we went down to 10 men, that has really turned us over and given us a thrashing where we haven't been in the game. We haven't lost games this season. In fact, I can remember 3-4-0. And like I said, against all the top sides, we've been in a game, for the whole 90 minutes. But I think what we saw tonight with Stevenage is where we need to be next season with that, depth in squad. If Craig Coates looking on tonight, for example, I think you can see where if we're going to challenge that top half, that playoff next season, the jump between where we were today to Stevenage were today, and we can make up that difference for me.
There's no disrespect to the subs we had, but when you look at, we've got first-year loans or not had loads of experience. You've got Boswick, Casca, and whatever his name is, the guy from Charlton.
The thing is, with George Marsh coming early, it kind of took away any midfield cover we had. If we needed to bring Woody off for an injury, or Armani if he was tired or getting an injury, you now have no option for that, or go light in midfield. And I think Jackson knew that because he made his changes very, very late. I wouldn't mind it, as much as I thought Ali played really well and Chiswick was playing well, I wouldn't mind just seeing them rotated maybe a bit earlier. Just Pearson purely for his pace. He's got a bit of trickery about him. I'm quite keen on him. I think he's got something to give. I think it's been a bit unlucky with all the discourse about Bristol City not letting him play because we didn't give him Curry and all that, which is probably a load of rubbish, let's be honest. He's on loan here. He's not. He's going to play when he's fit and when he's ready to do so. But yeah, I would have liked to see him come on a bit earlier. I've been a big fan of his so far. I mean, albeit very limited cameos, but I think he'll be a good player for us. Just a comment there from Paul Campbell. Greetings from Galway City on the Atlantic west coast of Ireland.
Cool. Which is probably the cold side of the end. That must be cold over there. Do you know what? It was cold tonight. It was.
Yeah, it was. And Southdown was quite warm.
We're getting old. Me and Rob getting old.
I mean, nice thick coat on. I was loving it.
Oh well, Rob didn't have a coat, did you? Rob?
Disaster. Disaster. Yeah.
But it was proper cold tonight. What's going on? It's March. It's March tomorrow.
I know.
That's sort of the start of British summertime, isn't it?
As of tomorrow, hopefully it starts warming up.
No, snow next week.
Yeah, probably will, won't it? It's almost like when you predict it'll be a 0-0 or 1-0 in the pre-match show and it ends up to be 5 goals against a team that didn't look that sound defensively, in all honesty.
You know what, as well, there was 5 goals, but I feel like there was plenty more, could have been plenty more in it. And you know what? We had some really great chances early on. Ali went through on a 1-on-1, good reflex or reaction save from the keeper. Second half, great pullback to Chislett, drags it just wide. And like I said, we had some really good chances.
Oh, that Chislett chance. I thought it was edge of the area.
That first goal, did you think it was in? In the South Stand, it was like, everyone was like, oh,
yeah, we were down that end. Yeah. The funny thing was, he made a great save from Hamadi when he went through. He seemed better. Their goalkeeper seemed better on a reactive save than I wouldn't be surprised if he lost it in the floodlights. It looked like he lost the ball, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Hamadi coming on the back side of it. But yeah, that Chislett chance. I'd love to see the goals back. I think we could see some poor goals. Tonight, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely. I didn't know how that second one went in.
There was that one where they had I think their third goal was a free header or free shot at the back post.
But they're dangerous.
Some strike though.
They're dangerous on set pieces though, and you can see that. But yeah, Chislett chance, Hamadi, one Al Hamadi shot and literally powered it, didn't he? So I think when you look back, I think we've said for a little while we haven't scored as many goals as we would like, but I think we had a lot of chances tonight. I think that's why I've come away thinking, do you know what? That's not. I've got more out of that, even though we got beat, thinking that actually, do you know what, we've got some good time for McAteer. Ahmadi's got his
some player as well.
And he can play, and you know what, he's playing in so many different positions since he joined us. That's the good thing about it.
I think the big encouragement for me is the fact that we signed Ali on a 2.5-year deal,
because
he looks like some player.
He'll be gone in the summer.
I'm already beginning to think. I'm already beginning to think, should we give him a 3.5-year deal? I'm already beginning to think like, however we found him. It's been a great signing, and obviously there's all the rumours going around. We'd like to sign Armani Little. If we can get him over the line as well, I think that's 2 brilliant signings we got through in January. I mean, it's obvious some of the loan signings here, like McAteer ain't going to stay. He's going to go back to
Leicester. He might love Plough Lane.
He'll go back to Leicester. Been good luck to that. But
Absolutely.
I think there are some positives from this January window.
I think Ahmadi's a confidence player. You can see that, can't you? Powerful, likes a battle. Hey, look, we missed some players tonight. You wonder if we had Pella available. And I still wouldn't be surprised we got some players playing with knocks or injections and stuff like that to get through.
I was going to say that's 4 and 3 now for Ali. And like I said, if he's a confidence player, I think the big thing is he's getting a run in the team, isn't he? Which he didn't have at Wickham. Probably didn't get the chances.
Stuart Jones has really brought on my next point, really, because how many subs do we reckon we'll have on Saturday? Because I think we had 4 subs now. That was a tough game out there, wasn't it? So
I think that's when you look to the academy. Then, as you mentioned in the pre-match, you kind of look at Aaron Sass, who's come onto the bench if one of our attackers is injured, or you look at I don't know. If George was here, he could give us the rundown on every one of our academy players.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if it was on Twitter or somewhere else about recall options and that sort of thing. Can we bring players back? But how is that gonna? Is that going to stunt our I think it was on the club's Instagram, actually. Are we going to stunt our players' development just to fill the gap for one game?
I don't think there's much point bringing some of the players back on loan, just because at the end of the day, we're not, we're so far off the playoffs now.
Yeah.
I just think, it's better to build for next season at this point. And JJ and Craig Hope will be looking towards next season. Let them go out and get their development like Jack Curry did, for example.
Absolutely.
And, they'll come back. One of the questions from Jamie Scorer wasn't when they ignore it. Should we revert to 3-5-2 attacking? Because we're light at the back. I mean, I think for me personally, it just depends what bodies are fit for Saturday, because we are just so light. I mean, I think we need Pearce back, but I don't know if he's back on Saturday. I'm
hoping he is, because I think we're lacking that general at the back just to kind of marshal everything and keep it all together. I think that's what we're missing, because he'll be able to point out to someone if there's, when they've got 3 players unmarked at the edge of the box to pick him up and sort that out. And it's concerning they can't do that with him in the team. And if he does, I'm sure he'll be. He's what is he? 33.
Yeah, something like that. 33 going on 34.
Yeah. So he'll be looking, to move on, maybe to go into his coaching or something in the next couple of seasons. We need someone to step into that role. Hopefully we can get that.
Do you know what's interesting? Nick Zanev got his 13th clean sheet, didn't he? At Northampton.
Unlucky 13.
And we conceded 7 in the last 3.
He had a good game today, I think.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's... Yeah. But do you know what?
I'm just weird, put some propaganda in when I could.
Yeah, it's weird how we were so tight, weren't we? And all of a sudden we've let 7 in 3.
It's just the makeshift back 4 for me. We went from such a settled side. We literally lost Bila, PK and Pearce. And then obviously tonight we lost Curry. That's the back 4 recently. And,
Yeah, true.
And I just think that's just hampered us. Will Nightingale's probably still getting up to speed.
I thought he looked good today, actually. He was quite good in the air.
I liked him.
Yeah.
PK,
and he played 3 games in a week, though.
PK had 10 good minutes, then 10 not so good minutes, then 10 good minutes, and kind of was up and down in form.
There was an interesting battle, wasn't there, with him and Dan Sweeney and Will Nightingale. Yeah. You'd imagine they might have played together in the youth.
Yeah.
I think there was some...
There's probably some little things in his head. Because he did seem to react quite aggressively to him in the box. I think it led to one of the... I don't think he got booked, did he?
He did, he got booked. And then we had obviously George Marsh booked as well. So, there was a few
Marsh
things.
Absolutely clattered on the halfway line as well before they went and scored, which... Don't really know what happened there, but it didn't seem particularly...
What else comments we got in here? Gary Fletcher really frustrated. The Hurts tonight. That's probably because he hasn't got a beer in his hand. I saw a Facebook where he said he had to start early.
What?
There's no excuse.
It's always frustrating and it hurts when you lose, but for me, I think I've come away from Plough Line tonight looking more at the positives. For me, I came into tonight, realising realistically we ain't going to get the playoffs and we've got to start building for next season, and there's positives for next season, in my opinion, with Ali and Little and some of the youngsters we've got coming through. So, yeah.
Latest
back on loan.
Latest scores tonight, actually. Do you know what? I typed them in, but I actually didn't really comprehend what they were. I know Bradford won at Gillingham, didn't they? There we are.
Oh, it's gone again. It's not back.
There we are.
There you go. Sorry for everyone at home.
Yeah, you probably saw it. You probably were okay. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Bradford. That's an interesting one. No, I didn't. I just done a ticker because I was lazy.
There is, yeah.
Northampton. That's Harrogate. Interesting on that. Crawley. Crawley, I think I got about 500 games in. No, not 500 games in hand. I think I got 3 in hand.
Three in hand.
Barrow's an interesting one as well. Barrow literally went through a slump. I think they were below us.
What we'll do with either do a night man of the match. I think we call it a night there and get ourselves off home. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to Stu and to Rob for joining me tonight. And we will see you all on Saturday when we take